David, Chris, there's been a lot of developments at the club in the past few weeks, and I know, David, you were keen to obviously talk about those and update supporters. But first we'll start off with the FA Trophy draw, which is just in. We've drawn Averley in the next round, and it's a great time for the club.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I just looked up. I think I'll be away for that game, and which is a pity because I always like going to new grounds. The guys have just told me it's somewhere Gillingham direction, but Averley, I think, are a team on the up. They're pretty close to the top of the Conference South. So it's going to be a tough game. The last 32, all the games are tough, and everybody wants to win the trophy. It's a chance to be at Wembley, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So could be worse, could be better, but pity I'm not making a trip.
And your thoughts, Chris, on the tie?
I just think it's a great opportunity to play against a team that is on the up, and I know they've done ever so well in the last 2-3 years, so we've got some really good players as well. Been studying them for different reasons currently, but we'll have to obviously look at how they play a little bit more and make sure we're ready to play against them, because they'll definitely pose a massive test.
Just on the management front, on the pitch, you felt obviously a change was needed from Adam Murray. Chris obviously took interim charge. There's been an upturn in results. We've lost 3 games out of our last 10. Just where do you see that going from him?
Yeah, well, you never said you were going to ask me that question, Callum, so you've put me on the spot. No, I think that, look, those who are sort of close to the club know that when we decided to go down, I suppose the end of the James Rowe era, we'd already. We being Phil and myself had made a decision that we're going to go down the director of football coach route, which many clubs, I think I said at the time, had taken. It's well known that in the running for the head coach at that time, it was a straight fight between Adam and Chris, and we decided to take Adam. Don't regret that in any way. Adam delivered what we needed most, which was to get back into this division. But we also, were like Chris, and there were lots of factors involved, but we felt that we should offer Chris the job of, director of football, which he accepted. Obviously, things didn't work out in this division with Adam. I think it's fair to say, and we'll come on to it in a few minutes, no doubt, when we're talking about players and player movements out, player movements in, that probably the quality of the football, the quality of the clubs at this level took us all by surprise. We'd been here, as you know, in past 3-4 years ago, before we got relegated. And it's a different league now. It's a totally different league. And although we thought, probably like everybody else, well, Wrexham and Notts County have gone, it's still a very, very tough league. So yes, Adam did a great job. Things weren't going well. I didn't think we were heading in the right direction, and therefore, as in football, it's a cruel game. We had to make a decision, Chris was the obvious choice to, take over as caretaker manager, but also to give him the opportunity to maybe do what he probably loves doing more than being director of football. We didn't want to jump in and say, Chris, the job's yours. I'm not a believer just, you don't want to jump out, say, the frying pan into the fire. So we wanted to give Chris the chance, and so far, things are going well. We haven't set a date, a time, when we're going to make that decision. But I think hopefully Chris can turn it around. I think we're in a false position, quite frankly. But we've conceded too many goals, and we haven't been able to see games out. I don't think goal scoring has been our problem. So we just need to change a few things, and no doubt, that's what Chris is working on every day on the training ground.
And Chris, how do you feel that it's gone overall since obviously you stepped into that caretaker position?
Well, I just sort of support what David said about the past. I think that was brilliant that the club got promoted and everybody had a hand in that. Of course he did. And where we've ended up and where the board had to make decisions, it is a result-led business, football, and it's irrelevant. It's not personal. It's just what it is. The industry is very, very harsh. But yeah, I've been really pleased with the lads' response. I mean, we've had some really good results. Scoring goals, great goals, including last Saturday's goals we scored. They're really, really good goals. David's quite right, we've conceded too many, but in the last sort of 10 games that has been reduced, and that's commendable to the players' efforts. But what we need to do is obviously grow from this point, because without being too disrespectful to the past, when you do take something up or try and turn something around, you are carrying the baggage from the past and in different ways. So yeah, I think we are doing a little bit better. Yes, I do want more, but in terms of what it looks like on paper, we are currently bottom of the National League and it's not where we want to be. But that's because of the past. So you quite rightly said before about the 10 games played, but we do need to look at seeing out games better, becoming consistent in winning, and sticking to this fast attacking type style of football because it suits us.
And Chris talks about decisions that have to be made, and 2 in the past week were obviously Alex Whitmore and Gold Mateo leaving the club, especially Alex being the club captain. It was, I suppose, a difficult decision to make overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you can't always A, for the players themselves, and B, for other things that are going on in the club. You can't always go out to the fans and tell them everything that's going on. I'm always a believer in trying to tell them, as much as possible, if we just take them one at a time. Whitmore, Alex was a great servant for the club. I always spoke very highly of him because not only did he give his all on the pitch, but he also was great in the community and what he did, and he was always first to put his hand up and say, yeah, I'll go there, I'll go to hospital, I'll go to kids, I'll do this, I'll do that. So a great human being. We had an offer from Solihull at the beginning in the summer, which was a pretty substantial offer. We decided at that time, obviously under the Adam regime, to turn that down, which we did, and to stay with Alex. And then what happened, of course, over the few weeks, Alex got injured. We brought in Sam, as you know, and when Solihull came back, and Alex still injured, Solihull came back again with pretty much the same offer. Having discussed it with Chris, he felt that it was a good deal and that we should take it so we could use that money to strengthen the squad in other ways. I think Chris will tell you that he felt that, no disrespect to Alex, but football moves on, and Alex was probably going to be number 3 behind Harry and Sam, and that if we needed somebody, then probably Miki was okay to step up and do that. So it was purely a business decision, and what we obviously always do is try and do that in the best interest of the club. Regarding Gold on Mateo, I think that he was probably one of those that at the beginning of last season, Chris, and he's manager now, coach now, but he was director of football at the time. So I've questioned him a few times on some of the decisions we made. But I think, I was saying to one of my friends the other day that managers, coaches, need to understand the league you're in. you know, and I suppose if you look, there's some classic, probably the most classic example is Neil Warnock, isn't it? I mean, he knew how to get any team, and you go give Neil Warnock the job, he'd get you out of the Championship. He didn't know the Premiership, couldn't stay in there, never could. So you need to understand the league, and I think that it's fair to say that we probably thought by getting some of the best, if not the best players in position in our league, Goldan Mateo being the leading scorer behind Nick, that it was sort of simple really that they'd step up and be able to perform. And of course what we found out, as I alluded to earlier, this league's a lot easier, a lot harder, you know, so being able to score 22 goals, and the best example of that is look at Nick. You know, Nick was a leading scorer. He's found it really difficult in this league. They're not giving him that same room. He's not being allowed that freedom to run around. On Saturday, he dropped down a couple of leagues. Nick, I love you, you know that. Dropped down a couple of leagues and, you know, had a lot of freedom, didn't he, on Saturday against Nuneaton? It was like, oh, there's the old Nick back. But really it was because you're playing a side of a lower quality. And I think that Gold, unfortunately, certainly, you know, in our opinion, at the end of the day, wasn't going to deliver, shall we say, those goals that maybe we thought, not maybe, that we obviously thought he could do, was going to deliver. So, with that in mind, I think that once you sort of get a mindset in your head that maybe a player's not going to fit, and the best thing to do is move it on and try and find someone else to who can hopefully maybe do a better job and maybe suit the style of play and how we want to play and how we want to play the game. So you know, again, just the same as Alex, I would say, you know, I didn't spend a lot of time with Gold, but you know, again, a decent, nice human being, you know, worked hard, wanted to succeed. I think was quite cut up when we sort of told him he wasn't part of our plans. But got himself a great move to Kidderminster. And as long as they don't keep us, put us down, you know, with a last-minute goal on the tail goal, I think we'll be happy. And they came back and you know, we managed to move. The other thing about moving a player on, a lot of times you can't move them on without, you know, some sort of compensation to the player or asking a club to do something. But we managed to, in both cases, make really good footballing deals, Chris, didn't we?
Yeah, there's what David said there to both them transactions. A lot in football, without sort of dissecting everything, it's timing. Because in the summer, Alex was offered a new contract, and we did want to obviously retain him. But when these things do happen, Adam was energetic to keep him, and in time, without giving too much away, things change because of how the season starts. So it becomes like a club-orientated type decision, but within that, there's timings to that. You know, Alex got an agent, never had one before. He has been brilliant for Files, and I have no doubt he'll continue to do really well, because sometimes in life as well, you need as a person, you need a new stimulant. He's been here 4 or 5 years, so I think he'll do well for that. And like David said before, we've opened out then into opportunities to try ourselves to strengthen and evolve our current situation. So we made a bid, didn't we, last week for a player?
Yeah. I mean, we've yeah. So you move, you know, the old football adage is, you know, which chairmen such as myself will often say to coaches such as Chris is, yeah, look, if you want to bring someone in, you're going to move someone out. I mean, we've actually got a very big squad here. I think we've got a squad of 25, 26 on the books, and that's not including kids. I'm talking 25, 26. We've got 6 injured at the moment. We've got 6 players out injured, and some of them, you know, have been out for quite a while. You know, in quite critical positions, left back in particular. I think one time we had 3 left backs who were, or left-sided players who were all injured at the same time, and 2 of them still are. So we've got a big squad, and you can't go on just throwing money at it. It doesn't matter what level you're at, any level. Throwing money at it isn't the answer. Look at Chelsea. They're a fantastic example. It doesn't matter. So we've got to be sensible, and so I said to Chris, look, we're going to move someone out. Let's get some in. It's not easy to get people in of a high quality when you're bottom of the league. That's the reality, unfortunately, and we're not used to being bottom of the league. We're used to being top of the league or near the top of the league. So it requires a different skill set, a different mindset. And Chris has been working very hard. We've identified probably 3 or 4 players which we think can strengthen the squad. Some we can't move on because of the window in January. 2 of them have turned us down because of that position we're in and don't want to step down. Don't want to, shall we say, step down and then risk going down as well, which is understandable. So it's been difficult, but I can assure everybody that every single day this man's on the phone watching games, trying to find the right player. And again, that's the key, is finding the right players, isn't it? It's easy at this juncture to jump in, and I think I've been guilty of that in the past, of jumping in and signing. I'm not going to name anyone, not a lot of people will know, signing players at the last minute. And one of them, I think, I signed, paid probably nearly the most money I've ever paid, and I think he played 3 games for us and never played again. And those were maybe panic decisions, you could call them, at the time. So we've got to make the right decisions. We're not even, we're just about halfway through the season. It's a long way to go in this game, and it's important that I say we make the right decisions. And I'm fully supportive of Chris on that. And now we've sort of took quite a considerable amount off the wage bill, and also given ourselves a little bit of a pot to use as a transfer pot. Then when the right opportunity comes along, we'll make it, but we're not going to rush into it.
No, I agree. I think it's a great opportunity in front of us. The challenge is the fact that we're nearly halfway. The results have got better, but there's still miles more room to improve. But the lads have been given everything. You can see that in the game. So if we can get the right support to that squad with 2 or 3 lads coming in, and often when you do bring somebody in, the player who's already here actually gets better. So the difference is made within in a different way. But the squad's in a good place. There's a big buy-in into trying to have an all-in purpose, and if we get the right chat, which obviously we're looking into in a lot of detail, it'll enhance our opportunities. But I have no doubt, looking in that changing room, we are capable of going against any team in this league currently. With a starting 11, we probably just need a little bit more support to make sure that can continue over a longer period of time, because you can get injuries, suspensions,
I think it's
different things.
I mean, some highlights, I'm sure, for the fans, and certainly for me, it's I love Taylor O'Kane. I think he's going to make a fantastic footballer. I really do. I said to Chris, he just does certain things. He's got time on the ball. Great players have time on the ball, and he's going to be a good player to come through the ranks, doing really fantastic. We've got the young lad Ormrod, named after one of my heroes from the Blackpool days. Not related at all, but if he can score as many as Brett could, he'll be a good player.
He has similar traits. He's honest.
Yeah,
he's honest and hard working.
Chases everything, doesn't he? Chases everything. And I must admit, when he stepped up, when he sent him out to do the 5th penalty, the deciding penalty on Saturday, I thought, Chris, what a bloody stupid mistake that is. That's what I was thinking. And he stepped up, didn't he? Took it top right, where no keeper in the world would have stopped it, wouldn't they? Probably the best penalty of the whole lot. So he's obviously also he's just got that little bit of presence of character as well. And that's what you need to be a great footballer, isn't it? Because that's when you know, your nerves are at the top. Score the one that counts. If we'd missed that, we'd have been out. So yeah, he's obviously got some traits, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play tomorrow night, which is kind of how we arrange things a little bit, so that he's fit, he's ready, he's going to lead that team. He's got a bit of first team experience, which will be great for him when we play Hull City here in the FA Youth Cup. So it's great to see those two, and every credit to Chris Gannon and the academy. We've produced certainly one we know is going to be a success, and certainly Ormerod has a chance, hasn't he? I think he's got a chance, Chris.
Yeah, well, that's what you do. That's the balance between a squad being a competitive squad and trying to win things, and also having room for growth. Because without the room, there's no growth, and it's getting all them things in sort of balance. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to the next festive period of fixtures. It's gutted the Hartlepool game was off. Got really excited for that one. But yeah, I can't wait to see what we can do and see how we can support these lads moving forwards.
Yeah, and I think apart from, I think also the games that I haven't seen every game, but the ones I couldn't get. Now we've got National League TV. It's fantastic. So I've watched them on the TV. I said whoever finished in front of Chesterfield will win the league, and obviously it looks like they're going to walk it. I personally thought Barnet were the best side I'd seen that night. They played fantastic football, how I'd like to play that night, and we nearly got out of there with a draw, but not in the end. They stumbled a little bit, but apart from those two, I haven't seen anybody who gone, wow, we've matched everybody. We've just conceded, and I think one of the nice things is to see Chris Neal back in the sticks. And Chris came back on Saturday, and I said to Di, as I turned to him, you could have written it, I said to Di, I said, bloody hell, I said, there we are. Got to half time, clean sheet, first time since we've had that, and then the next thing he drops it and throws it in his own net, as you know. But Theo's come up, stepped up, and done a good job. But I think having Chris there in the background, as the ability to step in sometimes and help out, will only help us as well. I really do. Chris has been around a long time, hasn't he? Played in some great sides, but he's just. I think also sometimes a defence needs someone who's just a bit steady behind, and Chris, sort of exudes that confidence, doesn't he? He's a very sort of tranquil guy anyway, isn't he? Even when he's won. But I don't know, Chris, if you've got any thoughts on that?
No, both great fellas and have different attributes, but it's a bit like trying to recruit new players in. It's that competition for places. So Theo and Chris, direct competition for one spot. And when we spoke in the summer, that's what we tried to create in all the positions. And that's what we're going to.
I suppose we haven't had that competition that we wanted because, of course, Chris was almost injured straight away, wasn't he? And he's been out all season. So Theo's had it to himself to a large extent, and I'm sure that it'll make him better by having Chris, sort of, chomping in the wings behind him, so to speak. So competition's great, and that's what we need in the squad. No pressure on Chris, but the last time we went to Altrincham, it was about the third game of the season. We were up, and it was a Tuesday night. We won 6-0, and that was. I thought we were going to romp the league after that, but we did pretty well. But yeah, I don't think we'll win 6-0 this Saturday. Altrincham a different outfit now, but. It is a local derby for us, Altrincham. I like Altrincham. They're good, it's proper football club, but they've never been really a proper football club in the respect that never really been in the league. They've been close, in the old days when you got voted in or out. They were, I think, a couple of times won the league, but got voted out, Chris. When it was. That's what they did in the old days. Kept their old mates in, didn't they? You didn't have automatic promotion. So I've always had a soft spot for them. The other thing about Altrincham, which is great, it's got lots of nice places, restaurants and things like that, so we always enjoy that part of the Saturday. So we've got a big gang, about 20 of us going out in Altrincham before the game. And and I just thought it'd be really nice to get as many people as there. Christmas coming up, our fans haven't had a lot to cheer about, it's been difficult. So I'm going to put on a free coaches for, I say coaches, coach or coaches, whatever it may be, for all the kids under 21. So anybody who's under 21 wants to go to the game, then there'll be free coach travel on Saturday to the game, and let's hope as many as possible come. We'll have a steward on there, but we won't have all the old fogies telling them what to do and what songs they can sing and what songs they can't sing. You know how it gets sometimes. So I want them to have a good day, go out and enjoy being Fylde supporters and get behind the team, because all those kind of things count, Chris, don't they?
Massive, yeah.
Get a few singing and behind us.
Massive.
We know that's never been our strongest point. We know that, but as Tesco famously said, every little helps, and at the moment we need not desperate, but every little help we can get, either on the field or off the field. It all adds up, doesn't it?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Definitely.
When they do get behind us, Chris, it's obviously great for you and great for the players, because it does really push them on too, doesn't it?
Yeah, the players, we've completely taken in responsibility of where we're at, and like David just said, we know where we're at, we know what we need to do, we know how many games we need to try and win, and we need everybody paddling in the same direction, because as soon as you start going in different directions, something that isn't great gets even worse. In the last sort of 6-7 league games, we've managed to stabilise and make better, and now it's time to try and take it somewhere forward. So I agree, it'd be great to give the lads something to, the supporters something to shout about, for sure. 6-0 is pretty ambitious, and I do not take anything for granted, but like David said before, the league's changed a lot, and Altrincham have changed a lot. They've got a massive back finance now, haven't they? They've changed as a club. So, but we'll definitely be ready for that football match and looking forward to it. No guarantees, but we'll definitely be ready for it, for sure.
Moving on, David, just finally, what are your aims for the rest of the season, almost as supporters?
Well, I never thought I would hear myself saying this, but I'd take fifth bottom now. From the position we're in, I'd like to think, as we know, look at Everton, don't you? 3 wins, and somebody said without a 10-point deduction, they'd be mid-table. So 3 points is massive, and you only need to put a few wins together, and you can get out of the mess. We'd like to think we can finish mid-table, so at least we can enjoy the last few games of the season. I don't want to be there when we have to win the last game to stay up. So, but I'd take fifth from bottom now, and I think take some lessons, be a little more humble. Don't think that we can go straight up, and then regroup and go back to what I said earlier. It's all about, when we're signing players, making sure we're not just signing players to keep us up, but we're signing players that can take us up in the future. That's my wishes, and also really importantly to me is to play the game the right way. And I think it's fantastic at Tottenham now. That Tottenham have always been a team that everyone said they played football. They were always known as the football inside. Couldn't win anything, but they were football inside. And he's been a breath of fresh air there, hasn't he? But he's playing the right way, and no matter if he gets beat 3 or 4 games, he's going to play the way they're going to play. And I think that's important. People want to be entertained. They want to watch a good game of football. If they're disappointed because we have a 3-all draw against Dorking, like I was there, I couldn't speak in here after that. I mean, their directors were, I couldn't speak. I was so gutted. But that's because I bloody love the club. But if you're a neutral and you can't watch that game, I mean, it's a fantastic game of football. Fantastic. Nightmare for me. But people want to be entertained, don't they? They don't want to come and watch 0-0 or 1-0 big boot. They don't want to watch that. So how we play the game is equally important to me, and Chris knows that. And attacking, exciting football is what's going to get people coming back, and hopefully also going to get us up out of the mess that we're in.
And Chris, is it for you now just about evolving what we've already done so far?
Yeah, there's probably nothing to add really. It's about having them consistent traits to winning more regularly. I think the content of the football is more relevant to what David just said. We have and do score great goals, said it before. We've definitely got to do a bit of housekeeping and tidy up a little bit. The goals we've conceded have been pretty soft. They're not, I know every coach will probably say the same thing, but they really have been and very avoidable. So we need to learn from that, move on from that, from the players that we've got, and of course try and add one or two lads that can support that current situation, and who that will be and when that will be, it will come to us. But like David said before, we are searching, digging, phoning, looking. We're all active in that, including David. He'll get the odd phone call, won't he, from people, but it's about making sure, like you said before, that player can support our current player, but also have growth within that as well, because we do want to do and be successful as a football club, both on and off the pitch. So it's important that player represents that sort of feeling, but more importantly, currently helps us win football matches.
Christmas is 9 points, Chris, isn't it? 9 points, and yeah, that's you know, I think if where we're at, we'd take 9 out of 12, wouldn't we? So
definitely.
Yeah, we take 9 out of 12, and you know, and I think look, it's doable. It's mentality, isn't it? We know we've got the side to score the goals. We just got to stop conceding.
And that's everybody. That's from the front and the back. It ain't just a goalkeepers. It's everybody defends, everybody attacks. It's that all-in team mentality. So a lot of them goals start and further up the pitch that are so avoidable. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Merry Christmas, and 9 points. That's fair enough. I don't mind that. 2 games against Rochdale.
No, I know we haven't. And you know, who would have thought we'd been playing Rochdale, and but that's how football's a funny game, isn't it? Don't take anything for granted, you know. So, okay, thanks, Callum. All the best to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Cheers, Callum.